Aleutian Islands are rich with resources. The seafood industry is propelled by water. Fishermen ply that same water. Their catch comes here, where water is essential. Each day, 3 million gallons of salt water and 1 million gallons of fresh water pump through the Trident seafood plant in Aleutian. But on Alaska, seafood processors can nearly run the island dry in a year with low snowpack.
They use a lot of fresh water, and we get really concerned about running out of fresh water.
It's a different story in Adak, thanks to 3 lakes.
Our study on these 3 lakes, Bonnie Rose, Dee Marie, and Lake Betty, showed some 20+ million gallons a day just coming from the streams.
Now multiply that by some 28 cents a gallon, and the profits are huge from a renewable resource.
We've got the docking capability out there to pull a 700-foot vessel up, fill it with water, fuel, whatever we need, and send it on its way.
And with Adak's proximity to Asia, the Aleutian Corporation knew they had a vital link: water for sale. They studied the water levels of the lakes as well as whether they contained fish.
When you're dealing with water, fish, there's a lot of other agencies that have to get involved.
The Department of Natural Resources approved the water rights application in an astonishing 15 months.
A lot of residential housing.
Adak is an old Navy base with a lot of good infrastructure in place for a business like this.
I'd like to see something by March or April. I'd like to see at least us be able to turn on a tap and fill a boat with raw water.
And that could yield $300,000 the first year just for the city of Adak. Meanwhile, the Unalaska Corporation is carving out a future beyond the Aleutian Islands.
We need to grow the company. We need other opportunities outside of Unalaska as well.
The corporation bought the building on 6th and E in Anchorage, where the Alaska Native Arts Foundation has its gallery.
The seafood industry is still, king, and shipping will become more important as northern waters continue to stay open longer.
As for Dutch Harbor,
what we're really looking for now is the future.
Perhaps a hub for ships passing through the fabled Arctic Passage?
We've just got our eye on the horizon, and we're really just trying to, read the smoke signals out there and see what they actually mean.
Freshwater for sale, an Arctic hub city, and expansion beyond the seafood industry all have one thing in common: accessibility is a challenge.
It's not like we can go down to Home Depot and buy a bunch of pipe. It's got to come from somewhere.
April Pelkey is pregnant with twins. Her monthly prenatal appointments require a 5-hour flight to Anchorage, and that depends on the weather.
I'm not going to take a boat, not while pregnant, not with traveling with a baby.
She's one of many here who are anxious for the $77 million airport that will serve the community. Outside of Aleutian, it has been dubbed the runway to nowhere.
You got to live out here. You got to see what it's like.
The problem, of all things, is water. 6 miles of water separates the community of Aleutian from the airport being built on Coon Island.
I still think a little ferry would work. A little foot ferry, like Washington has.
And it's not just the folks living in Aleutian City who are stakeholders in this. The seafood industry is counting on it as well.
The airport, we look at it as an investment that's going to have dividends. We're the 2nd largest seafood port in the United States of America, next to Dutch Harbor.
They moved more than 1,100 people with a 9-passenger World War II-era seaplane.
Very challenging to get over here, to travel to and from Aleutian.
Water plays many roles. It sustains life. But water also divides. It makes investment and infrastructure expensive, and it can make life just plain difficult. The dual nature of water in the Aleutian Islands also cultivates something unique and resourceful, a people who call those islands home and who embrace the Aleutian life. Tim Akamoff, Channel 2 News.